I find myself in times of trouble, Mother Mary comes to me, speaking words of wisdom, let it be. And in my hour of darkness, she is standing right in front of me, speaking words of wisdom, let it be. Let it be, let it be, let it be, let it be. Whisper words of wisdom, let it be. And when the broken-hearted people living in the world agree, there will be an answer, let it be. Though they may be parted, there is still a chance that they will see. There will be an answer, let it be. Let it be, let it be, let it be, let it be. Whisper words of wisdom, let it be. And when the night is cloudy, there is still a light that shines on me. Shine until tomorrow, let it be. I wake up to the sound of music. Mother Mary comes to me, speaking words of wisdom, let it be. Let it be, let it be, let it be, let it be. Whisper words of wisdom, let it be. Hey, how you doing out there, Guitar Heroes? All right, we get the Beatles again, 1969, one of Paul's huge ballads called Let It Be. And the tune is in a key where I can sing it, number one, and number two is the easiest to play. So I'm using key of G chords. If we were going to play in the original key, which is C, that capo comes up to 5, okay? I couldn't even hit the high part. I can barely do it now and then in the chorus. And so I tuned my guitar down a half to handle that. So I'm basically 6 half steps or 3 full steps below where Paul was singing. So, I mean, I think I'm kind of in that normal category. If you're a tenor, or certainly a soprano, which those guys were probably getting close to, you know, you can sing it in the original key. Otherwise, it's really hard. And of course, you're going to have more complex chords, more bar chords, etc. This is the simplest version that I could come up with. So we've got that piano thing, and I don't know if I got this perfect, but it starts out with a 3rd fret on the A string. And so it's kind of emulating a C chord. This is kind of being played over C, G, D, C, G. So we're going to start where you'd have that 3rd finger on a C chord, and then we're just going to walk down 3, 2, open, and then over to the low E, 3, 1, open, and then back to 3 on the A, which is back to the C, and then we end on a G note, which is back to the 3rd fret on the low E. And so that's all the piano that I could figure out. And that is your intro, and I believe that's at the end as well. Except it sounds a little more complex when you're using the piano. But this gets us by. Okay, so other than that, pretty straightforward. We're using, like I said, the key of G chords. We've got we got 6 verses here, and then of course we repeat that chorus a couple times. We're going to start with having it coming right off that at the end, that last G note. When now I'm a G chord, find myself in D, times of trouble, E minor, Mother Mary C, comes to me, back to G, speaking words of wisdom D, let it be C, and then back to G, and then at the end, of course, you hear that piano, that same little riff at the beginning. You're hearing that at the end of each of these lines, but you don't really need, it doesn't sound like, I don't feel like you're missing a lot. You just go back to the G, and then we're going to roll right into the next verse, exactly the same, so let's move down to the chorus, and this is where it's a little tough on the vocals. So we're going to come off the G, let it be, E minor, let it be, this is the toughest one, this D chord there, let it be, then we go back down to a C, let it be, back to a G, it's hanging on the G still, whisper words of D, wisdom, let it be C, G, and then of course we got, like I said, 6 verses to go through, and then we get to repeat that. You can really repeat it as often as you want, but I think it gets repeated 3 times during the tune. So we do the first 2 verses, we repeat it, then we do 2 more verses, we repeat it, 2 more verses, then we repeat it, and then basically you're at the end. And then we can just end on that same little riff. 3 on the A string again, 2 open, 3 on the low E, 1 open, 3 on the A, and then end up on G, which is the low E at the 3rd fret. All right, so not too tough of a song from this perspective. The original is much more complex, but you can get by, and at least you can learn the song and play it, and that's all that matters. Let It Be by the Beatles, Paul McCartney, almost like a solo for him, 1969. Hope you got something out of this lesson. Take it easy out there, and we'll see you next time.